Hey everyone, welcome. I think I'm live. Let me just check and see. So I want to talk about the coronavirus. I want to talk about the nature of the coronavirus. And just if you can see me, say hello. Just want to make sure we're live. Yep. I don't quite see it yet. Okay, yeah, all right, great, thank you. Yeah, so I want to talk about the coronavirus and I want to talk about the nature of the coronavirus. So what's amazing, and so we're going to talk about what you can do today, right now, besides eating well, what you can do, how you can look at your daily actions and make a difference, a significant difference in your susceptibility, being susceptible to the virus. Hey, Brandy. So the thing is that the information coming out of China right now, where there's traditional Chinese medicine, where they don't just throw antibiotics and, antivirals and, they have traditional Chinese medicine. And in traditional Chinese medicine, what happens is illnesses are categorized into hot, cold, wet, dry. And so the information coming out of China right now is that this virus is a cold and damp virus, and it likes cold and damp environments. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Kathy. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Okay, so I hope you share this because this is something that we can all do every day. So dampness. This is a damp virus. It's attracted to dampness. It's springtime in not everywhere, but for a lot of us, it's springtime right now. And so spring is the season of dampness. And so you've got a damp spring, you've got a virus that loves dampness. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to spend some time here, and we're going to talk about what does dampness look like in your body, what makes it worse, and how you can counteract dampness. So dampness, so I want you to think of like the water, it's been snow, everything's been still, and now it's spring and the water is thawing, right? And the water is starting to flow, and the water is meant to flow. It's meant, it's meant to be moving and healthy. When water sits, it gets kind of muddy and sticky and stuff gets caught in there, right? So it's really important when spring starts that everything is flowing and moving. So what dampness looks like in the spring is it looks like more crusties in the eyes when you wake up. It looks like more boogers, and it looks like snot and congestion and mucus and allergies. It looks like kind of dampness is heavy. It's like you feel kind of more emotional. Dampness is where you have more heavier feelings, heavier emotional feelings. Things get stuck when there's dampness. Okay, so you want to start to recognize if you have dampness in your body and how it manifests. So one of the ways you can, you don't have to be a tongue reader, you just have to be able to read your tongue, right? And so if you just start looking at your tongue every day, just get in the mirror and look at your tongue, you'll be able to notice, oh wow, I ate, cheesecake and pasta and cheese yesterday, and wow, look at the white coating on my tongue. Interesting. And so the more white coating you have on the tongue, the more like damp and pale and white and coated your tongue is, the more dampness there is, okay? So start paying attention to your tongue and pay attention to what foods make your tongue have more of a coating, whiter, make the dampness worse. Okay, so the other thing is, I'm an herbalist, we talk about poop. So here we go. And the thing is you can recognize you want to look at your poop every day. You want to start really looking at this vessel that you have that gives us so many clues, right? So dampness in your poop looks like heavy, like skid marks. It's like sticky and it goes straight to the bottom and it leaves marks. It's like sticky and damp, right? And so if you have any of those signs, you want to think like, oh, okay, I whatever that level is of your dampness, right? So again, a lot of snot, a lot of mucus, heavy feelings like shallow breath, like a heavy feeling in the chest, and I'm giving you just kind of like a bite size here for you to like put some glasses on and look through like, what does dampness look like in my body, and what foods and what lifestyle actions increase the dampness. Okay, what we're trying to do here is we're dealing with a damp loving pathogen, and we want to decrease our susceptibility to being a when you're stuck and you have dampness, the bacteria, the virus loves to just sit in there, right? So we're talking about, what does dampness look like in our body, and what can we do about it? Okay, so dampness is kind of stuck energy. And so first thing, number one, keep moving. I know you know that. I know you know what the movement means for your immune system, but when dampness stacks, like if you stop moving and your lymph starts getting a little bit stuck, then other stuff starts running into it, and then it stacks. And it's how your immune system gets to where it needs to go. And if your lymph system is all kind of stagnant and stuck, then your immunity can't, you can't get, your body can't take care of itself. It can't get to where it needs to go. So you gotta sweat and you gotta move your lymph. That's the number one thing, one of the number one things to counteract this dampness, right? Again, your constitution, you may not have very much dampness, but it's also spring. It's the season of dampness in most places, in a lot of places that, not everywhere. So you want to keep moving, okay? The other thing, and also taking hot baths really moves the lymph and helps sweat. So if it's pouring down rain and you can't get outside, take a hot bath. The hot bath will, and figure out, talk with the, how are you going to keep moving even if you can't go outside, okay? So the second thing is, I have to say, dairy. Dairy is a very damp, congesting food. So we're talking about yogurt, milk, all of the dairy. If you really need to eat dairy, make sure it's warm, okay? Make sure you heat your dairy. No drinking cold. My son loves to just comes home and just wants to just guzzle the milk right out of the refrigerator, right? It's just he loves doing that. Hey, Mandy. Hey, guys. Hey, Heather. So I'm talking about what we can do every day in how we look at our diet to counteract the dampness. The coronavirus is a damp-loving virus. It's an energetically, in Chinese medicine, it's classified as a virus that is attracted to cold and damp. And so we're talking about how to put on some glasses and seeing what dampness looks like in our body, and how to counteract that. Okay, so again, dairy is a very damp and cold and congesting food. And so we're talking about no ice cream, no cold foods at all, okay? You don't eat food straight out of the refrigerator. You don't drink things straight out of the refrigerator. So no dairy. And again, dairy it creates stickiness. Again, the two things that I talked to you about earlier, about what you need to watch in your body, take a look at those things. We talked about looking at your poop and checking your tongue. See what those things look like after you've had a bunch of cold dairy, okay? So it's a good time to back off of dairy. Again, dairy is a sticky, damp food. And if you do need to eat dairy, make sure it's warm, okay? So I'm not going to talk about sugar, because sugar is, you can find out about sugar anywhere, but sugar is cold, it creates dampness, and it lowers immunity. So now is the time. So we stocked up and we didn't buy there's no sugar and no chocolate in the house. Okay, so dampness, we're talking about also damp, congestion-creating foods like pasta, bread, sweets. They're all congesting foods, fatty foods, fried foods. These are all three things that increase the stickiness and the stuckness in your body, that increases your susceptibility to this virus. Okay, so again, cold drinks, fruit juices, iced tea, cold, anything cold, and just for you want to think of, you want to keep the snow is thawing, right? And so you don't want to just keep, when the snow is starting to thaw and you want the rivers of your body to move, you don't want to drink more cold things and have it go back to the snow, right? You want to drink warmth to encourage the flow, to encourage the new life, to encourage the new sprouts and the new growth. That's what's happening. The beautiful thing about Ayurveda is that, and herbalism, is that we know that we are related to Mother Nature, and that what's happening in our environment is happening in our body. And if we can start to observe that and observe what's happening outside and honor that in our own body, we're so much healthier. So again, we're trying to counteract the cold and dampness that this virus loves. Now, if you are living on the beach and it's 80, 90 degrees, just, I don't know, just turn this video off. This video is not for you. You know, if you're like sheltered up in Belize or something, you're probably fine eating your green drinks and salads. But for a lot of places, or if you're in Florida or wherever people are spring breaking right now, but for those of us who are dealing with spring, where the temperature goes hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, you have to be really careful. You have to pay attention to the cold, because that's what this virus loves, and you have to counteract the coldness in your body. Okay, so what can you do, right? It's not time for a massive diet change probably right now, but you can at least make sure things are warm. Your food, your drink needs to be warm. If you're going to eat a sandwich, grill it. Okay, if you're going to eat a taco, make sure that cheese is melted. All right, so it is the time for eating, making sure things are warm, all right? You don't want to, cold food creates coldness, stagnation, and then the dampness can stick, right? So okay, the other thing is to try not to eat late. The later you eat in the evening, the less digested your food is, okay? So if you eat 7, 8, 9 o'clock and then you go to bed, your body then goes to sleep, and then it's trying to sleep and it's trying to digest your food. We are eating at 5 p.m. I highly recommend if you're home hanging out, get a schedule going where you can eat an earlier dinner, right? 4, 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock is actually my favorite dinner time. Eat at 4 or 5. That way your food is completely digested before you give your body the project of going to sleep. And if your food is completely digested, then it doesn't get stuck and it doesn't create the stagnation and dampness that the coronavirus loves. These are simple, everyday things that Chinese medicine, that Ayurveda teaches, that Western herbalism teach, that how to lifestyle choices that help to counteract what's happening in nature, and it's the same thing that's happening in your body, and how to balance it out, okay? So the other thing is, don't catch a chill. Don't, go for that walk. Get outside, even if it's raining, but come back inside, make sure you're dry, make sure you're warm. I know you know that, but also the other thing is that wind, stay out of the wind. Wind and chill can come in, it comes in through here, and it comes in through here, and it comes in here. So you really want to cover this part of your body, okay? And the back and your head. Make sure, start wearing scarves, and wear scarves right here, and just really protect yourself from having any cold enter in your body. And again, if it's 80 degrees where you are, this doesn't apply to you. But a lot of us, it's like 50 degrees, then 70 degrees. And then we're like, oh, it was 70 degrees yesterday, I'm going to wear thongs. No, if it's cold, you need to really pay attention to not letting that coldness or dampness enter your body, okay? So the antidote to cold and damp is sunshine. We had sunshine today for about 2 hours. It's like, get out there, right? Get out there, get in the sun. Let that sun warm your body. Let that sun move the rivers in your body. And again, we talked about movement and moving the lymph, how important that is. And to listen to your body. It's really listen to your body. Don't let yourself catch a chill. Watch your tongue. Watch your poop. I know, right? Okay, so we talked about what the signs are. Some of the signs are. We talked about what to look for. And especially with our food choices, I cannot tell you how important it is to warm up your food. No cold leftovers, no cold juice out of it. All the coldness really creates a problem and increases the coldness and dampness in the body. And then the body has to deal with that along with dealing with the dampness in nature. And then there's this virus maybe, around you. So you really want to create conditions that don't encourage the virus. Okay, so what is what can you do? So one of the things, again, like I said, is like making sure your food is warm, but also there's warming aromatic herbs and spices. These herbs and spices are your friend, okay? So all week long, I've been talking about food as medicine. Go and look at my homepage, Cami McBride, or livingawareness.com, or follow me on Instagram. I'm talking pretty much every day. And all week I've been talking about food as medicine. I've been, but it's not just the food. Right now it's the temperature of your food. You're eating good food, but it's also really important to pay attention. I'm telling you, no ice cream. Ice cream should be outlawed right now. I'm serious. No smoothies, no yogurt smoothies, no smoothie breakfast. Things need to be warm, okay? And I know there's a lot of information out there. I know there's just like crazy. What do I do? What do I do? That's why this is like, okay, you're not going to change your diet. Make sure you're eating warm. So you want to eat warm food. Your temperature the temperature of the food is as important as what you eat. You're going to move. You're going to eat light, a little bit lighter and warmer. You're going to drink warm. No cold drinks. No cold drinks. Okay, say that. Tell everybody in your family. No cold drinks. Okay, now the warming and aromatic herbs and spices, okay? These herbs and spices, they help to get the blood moving, get the circulation moving, warm up your skin. They are antimicrobial. And so it's things like rosemary. You have a rosemary hedge? It's spring. Let's plant some rosemary. Okay? And also we're using a lot of thyme, right? We're putting fresh thyme on everything. Both of these herbs are incredibly antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral. They're warming. They have an affinity for the lungs. They get the circulation into the lungs, and they're incredibly helpful and supportive to the nervous system, to the immune system, digestion. Remember, 60 to 70% of your immunity is in your digestive tract. So take care of your digestion. Make sure you have, I've been talking about, of course, my book, The Herbal Kitchen. I have a companion course. You can sit at home and watch myherbalkitchen.com. You can watch me making stuff and videos. My blog, CamiMcBride.com, has a ton of free videos and recipes for you to just get a lot of warming aromatic herbs into your food right now, okay? And it's not only that they're antiviral and but they're also warming. And remember, we are counteracting the dampness of spring and this damp loving virus, right? So yummy warm smoothies. Yeah, it's not smoothie time. It's not smoothie time. Unless it's above 80 degrees, it's not smoothie time. It's not. And if you're really into green drinks and you're doing your green, you're drinking green every morning, which I see the reason for that. Make sure you take all your vegetables out the night before and that your green drink is room temperature. You're not drinking an ice cold green drink, right? So yeah, so these aromatic spices and herbs, it's also things like ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, right? Those are all, you put them on your food, you drink tea. Mandy says you're going to heat my food and check my poop. Good, good. Okay, so you can teach your kids this, right? You can have a family tongue looking session every morning. Like, whoa, look at that. Man, I can see that lasagna on your tongue, dude, right? Or you can be like, oh, wow, that soup last night really, your tongue should be pink with not a heavy, white, thick, like sweater coating on it, right? So that you want to start paying attention to your body, looking for signs of dampness. And if they're there, then it's like you clean it up. You eat soup for a couple days and you cooked, all your food should be cooked. I'm sorry, but it's not salad time. If it's below 80 degrees right now and spring is going hot, cold, it's not salad time. Even though you think like, make pestos. That's why my Kindle book on Amazon, Pesto for All Seasons, you make pestos. They're dense, a lot of greens, a lot of spices. You put it on your food as a condiment, and that's your raw. But it's very warming. It's not like eating a cold raw salad. Lettuce is cooling, okay? Cucumbers are cooling. You know, you start to learn like the energetic nature of your food. Okay, so you're going to move, you're going to eat, drink, and warm. You're going to look for a dampness, and if there is dampness, there's a lot of mucus, you're going to do some of the things we talked about. And we're going to stay safe. We're going to stay home. And we're going to take care of each other during this time. It's unprecedented. It's change, time of change. You think we're going to go back to the way we were before? I doubt it. This is a time, you know, your dream, our visions create culture. Story creates culture. What's the new story? What's the culture? What are we visioning? What's our vision? Now's the time to take this time and allow ourselves, and this is not to make light of anybody that's sick or the death that's happening. It's all very real. It's all very real. And it's also when we go on pause is when we access the strength of who we are, the spirit, the human spirit. We are taking an evolutionary step right now. And so I would just, you know, allowing myself to take this time to dream, like, what's it going to look like? You know, I've been a clinical herbalist for 25 years, and in my clinical practice, I spend 50% of my clinical time with people, helping them to strategize, having enough time to go to the bathroom, to eat well, to drink enough water. It's the overwhelm of life. People are busy, crazy, stressed, too much, too fast, right? Again, in my clinical practice, it's like 50% of my time is helping people strategize how to slow down and listen to their body and take care of themselves, including me. You know, I'm a getter. I'm a go-getter. I'll just go nonstop, right? So there's something about this planet on pause right now. So we need to take care of ourselves, we need to take care of each other, and we need to really envision and dream up what it is, the next step we want to create for our culture. So I'm going to post this video, and please share it. And it's got a lot of really good information that applies to most everybody, that most people aren't really looking at when it comes to the dampness of this and how we can really reduce our susceptibility. Okay? So I think that's about it. We stay safe, stay home, and let's take good care of each other. Love you all.